Good morning, everybody. This is sort of a special video. I don't have a scent of the day yet, but I want to sort of revisit some things I say all the time. And on my YouTube account, all my videos there. For my very first video I made on a group called Facebook Junkie, that sort of prompted this whole thing. And it was about what I do at decants that I got from Dallas at Chaos Fragrances. Just putting some Teflon tape. If you look at that video, you can even see the way my camera's angled in my kitchen. It's pointing towards my trash can and my messy counter, but I didn't care because that's not why I made the video. I didn't make the video for people to like, share, or subscribe, or any of that stuff. I made the video because I thought it was an interesting trick I would share with my friends, and I think it was Facebook Junkie. And also, while being on Facebook Junkie, I saw a guy named Will Torres, who now has a Facebook group of his own called 14 Spray Minimum. But when I saw him, I didn't know him as that name. I just knew him as Will Torres, and he would make these videos where he'd spray himself all over with any fragrance. It didn't matter what fragrance he had, he would spray himself all over. And it was just interesting, and he was so down to earth about it, and you could see the enjoyment he got from doing that, And some he'd even talk about his wife, his wife saying, please don't do that. It's kind of funny, and I liked following that. And I thought, if he can do that, if he can be just so who he is on a video, maybe I can make a video scent it a day. And people encourage that, so I started making a video scent it a day. And one of the reasons I did that was when people maybe suggested that I stop doing a photo and do a video, is I thought about it and I said, this would be something good to leave for my grandkids when they find that collection, Say they have to go on and find that collection. I want them to be able to, sit with some popcorn years from now and maybe, I don't know, binge watch YouTube, as if they really want to do that. But yeah, you know what I mean? I want to leave something for them, to see. So that leads me to my collection and leads me to me. I always say I'm not a reviewer, and I am not a reviewer. I am not an expert. And that's an affront to all those people who are reviewers and are experts to even consider, for anyone else to consider me a reviewer. Because I don't put in any effort to this. None at all. And I don't have any knowledge. So I can't be a reviewer. I'm going to show you something. When I come downstairs, I make this little notes, and this is what you'll see me sometimes looking down at, but usually not, unless I have something really important I want. Basically, all those notes say is they say top, bottom, top, middle, and bottom, and they're the notes. And my process is I spray something on, Mrs. Fritz smells it. I don't know what, I just know it smells citrusy. So I come down here, I look it up on Fragnatica, I go ahead and write the top, and then I just go right into my video. And that's why sometimes I'll know the notes, and I'll say them straight up, or sometimes I'll even forget them because I just wrote them down, but I forget them, because I'm talking. So, and I don't remake it if I do that. I don't, because I'm not a reviewer. And that's really important to understand. And you know what, the good thing is when I got onto Instagram from doing this, the people that suggested me doing this, that got me on the YouTube and got me on Instagram. And now I found out all about this thing called Fragcomm. Okay, and to me, this is what Fragcomm is. There's two Fragcomms. I'm in one. There's a whole nother Fragcomm. So there's Fragcomm, which I would call fragrance commercial. Okay, and that's people that are really in the industry. In some manner, some way, they are really talented and they're in the industry. Some of them went to college for perfumeology, I guess. And even YouTube reviewers would be in that category. They have to acquire that knowledge in order to, get people in the industry to take them seriously. So they put all that time and effort into that. And that's why I say, when you call me a reviewer and compare me with somebody, that actually does that talks to these people and knows the industry and all of that, it's really an affront to the whole industry, and it's an affront to that person because they did put a lot of time and effort into it. And then there's other ones who are aspiring to do that and are in the process of learning and are getting into that commercial side of fragrances and want to do that and want to find a way to make money. And not all of them do reviews. Some, in Instagram, I learned that. That's a great thing about Instagram. Some just maybe they got a talent in photography, so they'll make pictures of their fragrances, and that'll be a picture day, but the photography in it's real nice. Now, how do they make money? Well, maybe somebody in a a perfume, a perfume house sees those pictures and says, "Hey, we'd like to use that picture for our, whatever." So that's, our magazine dedicated perfumes may see them and hire them. And then there's other people that are bloggers, and maybe they just write. They never get in front of a camera, but they write great articles. Well, they too have to study and study and study. I don't study anything. I just have an interest in fragrance to wear. So that leads me to the other fragrance community, the one I'm in. I'm just a fragrance enthusiast. I'm a guy who didn't like fragrances 2 years ago and who would let you know I didn't like fragrances. I would be the guy that would be sitting 2 rows back from you at a movie theater, and if you had too much on, well, that's why I say, please help me be kind, because I wouldn't be kind in that theater. I would let you know you were wearing too much. So, that and so that transition from somebody who would do that to someone that loves fragrances now, I find interesting. I hope you find it interesting. So I just want to mention that, I'm in that community of enthusiasts who loves fragrances. And of course I want to learn about what I love. I do want to learn, but not to the extent that I ever want to commercialize it. And that's what I want to separate, that part. So when I do say I'm not a fragrance reviewer, I really appreciate you, if you would just take my word for it. Because, lately some people, will put another comment on, oh, he says he's not, but he really is, blah, blah, blah. And I know you're being kind. I know you're being kind to me, thinking, well, he doesn't have the confidence to be one. No, it's not that I don't have the confidence to be one. It's I don't have the inspiration to be one. I don't have the education to be one. I don't have the speaking skills to be one. I just told you yesterday, I'm like dyslexic with my words. And I showed that with profundo and profumo, and I don't want to have to like practice how to speak it. Besides that, I'm retired. I don't really want to get into the fragrance industry in any manner other than to say I love it. So, and show my grandkids I love it. So with that, I hope I didn't sound too preachy here, because I do really appreciate everybody that's following me, and I thank you all. But I wanted to, I really thought that needed to be said, that, especially if somebody's new following me, I am not a reviewer. I am not an expert of any kind. I always say, hey, I saw this on Ross. I saw it on Curly Fragrance. I saw it on Steve Redolessence. I saw it on Mr. Smelly, wherever. Whoever I say, Gent Sense. Wherever I find a fragrance, I try to point you back to somebody who I believe is an expert. And I believe all those people put the time and effort that I think they're giving me some type of expert opinion, some expert level more than I have of what that fragrance is. So hope that didn't sound too preachy and all that. And anyway, please pray for peace and please be kind. And I am going to make a Senate a day today. And thank you very much. Bye.